'Tis the season for soup, but what if you don't want to go through all the time or trouble it generally takes to make soup? Or what if you want to make it for just you instead of for an entire army? Well, today we have the secret. We're at Harvest Market with Emily Dupuis, and Emily, you tell me that this is not only simple, but it doesn't take very long and you don't have to make very much.
Absolutely. So that's one of the things that I hear a lot is soup takes too long to make, and I don't want to have it for the next week and a half.
Right.
So my recipe is not only really simple, doesn't require a lot of ingredients, it comes together really fast, and this recipe is actually created for two.
Oh, yeah, see, I try to use that as an excuse for me not making soup. I have lots of other excuses, but that's one of them. It generally makes a crock pot full, and I'm never going to use that. So we've got tomato soup today that will serve a couple, and it doesn't take very long.
Not at all. So tomato soup is one of those things that, you know, it's so easy to make, and from a can, it's okay. It's more nostalgic than anything.
With grilled cheese, it takes me back to when I was 7.
Exactly. So this is my take on a fresh tomato soup. This is so comforting, so delicious. So we've got a few things here. I've got my pot preheating. I'm just going to add a little bit of olive oil to my pan. We're going to start out with some onions.
It honestly doesn't look like you have very many ingredients, quite honestly.
Not at all. And remember, again, this is for two, so it's not going to look like a whole lot. You can easily, obviously, if you're like, well, I have a family that I need to feed, you can
double or triple it.
Exactly. Sure. But no, it's not a lot of ingredients. This is a small onion that we're sauteing right here, and a little bit of olive oil. I have some grape or cherry tomatoes. This is great using these because they're fresh, they're sweet, they're delicious. They're pretty much always in season. And you don't have to do any chopping with these. The only chopping you're going to do in this recipe are the onions.
Oh, okay. So do those fall apart naturally? Do you do something? They really do.
They will. They'll burst when we add them to the pot. So actually, I'm going to go ahead and add them in right now. And what happens is the heat will work on really softening up that skin, and they'll kind of burst. In the end...
Like explode?
Yeah.
Which would be a lot of fun.
Not explode, just kind of open up and slowly, you know, slowly disintegrate into the rest of the soup.
Actually, like fireworks, just all of a sudden just explode would be great.
It's not going to be that dangerous, I promise.
All right.
So the other thing about soup is that a lot of folks kind of shy away from soup because maybe they're watching their sodium intake, right? Soup is one of those things that, you know, again, usually we eat from a can, has a lot of salt in it. Sure. So my recipe doesn't have a whole lot of salt. We're adding just about a half teaspoon. We get stuff, we get flavoring from all the other stuff that's going to be in here, right? So we're going to be using some crushed tomatoes.
Okay.
Those also have a little bit of salt in them. And then we're going to be utilizing some tomato paste. Now, I want to kind of segue really quick and talk about this tomato paste because this is one of those things a lot of people don't like to purchase because it comes in the can and they're not going to eat it all and it goes bad, so they throw it away. These tubes are fantastic.
And if in the dark at some point you get confused, that very much looks like toothpaste.
And it wouldn't be that horrible.
I guess it wouldn't.
It would be worse. And the other thing that I'm going to be using is this. So this is actually our broth.
Okay.
This is a Better Than Bouillon paste. And it's basically cooked down concentrated vegetables.
Okay.
And this is, I'm using the reduced sodium kind. And this has such amazing flavor. So when we talk about making soup taste really good in a short amount of time, we want to make sure all of our ingredients are really flavorful.
You just don't have to layer it down with salt.
Exactly. And this is so good.
All right.
Yeah, so we're just working on cooking off these tomatoes here. See, they're already getting soft on the outside. You can see that kind of bubbling, browning effect.
And then do you have to wait till that happens to add all the other things?
Yeah, so we're going to wait until these soften up a little bit and just have all of our other ingredients on hand, ready to go. And yeah, it comes together pretty fast.
Perfect. All right, well, it looks like these tomatoes have softened up a bit, not exploded, but at least dissolved their way into what's going to be our soup.
Exactly. So we are good to go for the next step. So this is one of the most important steps.
Okay.
So we're going to add not only the seasoning, which is just a little bit of salt and pepper, but there's red wine vinegar in here. So that is my secret ingredient in soups to make it taste really, really, really good. So vinegar is one of those things, it's an acid. And an acid in a recipe, what it does is, you know, a lot of times when you're tasting something, you're like, it's just kind of, it's missing something. a lot of times it's acid. So I like to use, again, like red wine vinegar, white wine vinegar. They're really all-purpose.
I can all of a sudden smell it.
Yes,
it's definitely
isn't it wonderful?
there now. Yeah.
When it hits that heat, it really just kind of, it's very kind of pungent.
Yep.
We want to cook that down just a little bit, but again, this is going to create really a lightness and brightness on the tongue. So don't go reaching for the salt shaker immediately when you feel like it needs something. Try a little bit of an acid, and lemon juice, lime juice also works as well.
Perfect. And then these other things just get added to the top?
Yep, so we're going to add in those crushed tomatoes. We're just going to stir that in. Again, it doesn't look like a whole lot, but this is just for two. So it's a cute little pot of soup. And then we're going to add in the tomato paste. Almost forgot this. So just about a tablespoon of tomato paste.
And that is more than you would put on a toothbrush.
That's right, exactly. And so we want to kind of cook that tomato paste down just a little bit. It's going to release all of the beautiful flavors, and this is what really, really makes it taste nice and tomatoey, that tomato paste.
And then the last step seems to be the broth and that better than bouillon stuff you put in there, right?
Definitely. So this, what I did was I have just a little bit of warm water to help it dissolve a little bit. That's a teaspoon. So it is 1 teaspoon per 8 ounces. So we're just going to go ahead and add that in, and that'll just dissolve as we heat it through. So we're going to bring this up to a little bubble and just let everything kind of simmer for just a couple minutes.
All right. While she does that, we will point you to the recipe and to our website so you can make this for yourself at home, and we'll get the finished product here in just a few minutes. Just go to CILiving.tv.